What's going on, guys? Travis with RAC Garage, and I have another 37 in here. It's a 37 Cabrio. I really like this car. I actually tried to get it off of him, but you know, I'm broke. But it is a really cool car, and I'm just putting some floor pans in. He got this car with the floor pans. It's a set of bitchin' floor pans. Not my favorite, but you know, he has them. Like, quick and dirty job. Just put them in. I do have to make a few pieces. I gotta make some tiny little sections of subrail, and thankfully I already did them on Ken's sedan delivery, so I know what I'm doing there. There's a spot where the trunk floor comes down, steps down, and meets the main floor area. I kind of have to recreate that because it was cut out and it has a bunch of pitting on it, so I'm gonna cut the rest of it out and remake that. But before I do that, we have to hang the doors because the doors do not have hinges on them. One door has one hinge. That's gonna kind of take some time because it's like a new hinge kit. The ones that don't have holes. He said he had new hinges, and I was like, yes, new hinges. No. They got no holes. They have to be riveted to the door side. So I think I'm just gonna bolt it to the door side for now. But, God, man, nothing's easy. You know, it's drilling new holes and things, and I got to make sure everything's lined up. If I drill the holes in the wrong spot, that might not be able to put the pins in, and the door might not shut right. Stressing about that a little bit, but I just have to get down and do it because that's like the first thing I need to do. So, I'm going to give you a little walk around with this car, show you exactly what I'm doing, and then I got to start drilling those hinges out. As you can tell, this body is in excellent shape. This car actually came from Dick Royer's estate, the same place that 37 came from. And, well, you don't know about it, but I have another car that also came from the Dick Royer estate. I'm actually having a friend put that car together since obviously I have no room and time for personal projects. A good friend is going to help me out with that, and I'm also going to bring one of his projects and do something pretty cool with it that you guys will enjoy. So, back on the 37. It's in phenomenal shape. There's no rust left on the car. It's either been blasted off, cut out, and replaced. Obviously, back half, amazing. There's some spots that there's Bondo on that never got sanded off. Like this piece here, but Dick Royer TIG welded everything, so everything on this car has been done right. If it's not our taste, it was still done correctly. You can see everything here has been TIG welded. This fender, I think, is new old stock. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. The front half of the floors have been done already, from the firewall to about the fresh metal, and all these pieces from here back are kind of just sitting on here. I kind of mocked it up last night of where the pieces go. This piece, as you can see, was cut out. And also that was cut out for some reason. Don't know that story either, but we have that piece. So I'll just weld that half moon piece back in because there's nothing wrong with it. There's no holes in it besides that hole, which probably belongs there. So yeah, very cool car. Actually, two very cool cars and very rare cars. Same year, sitting next to each other. It's kind of, I don't know, it's odd. It's very cool, but it's odd. Alright, so I got the old hinges. Got the new hinges he wants to put on. Hardware for the door side of the hinge. Hardware for the body side of the hinge. Hardware for the latch mechanisms. Still waiting on the actual latch that attaches to the body. About there. I don't really need that yet. I can hang the doors and make sure they close, so that shouldn't be an issue. So right now I want to disassemble these My goal is transfer the bolt pattern to the new hinges, bolt the new hinges onto the car, and put the rest of the hinge together. And I don't know if I'm either gonna tack weld the other side of the hinge to the door for now. When I get it fitting the way I need, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do there, but first I wanna get the hinges that belong on the body bolted down to the body, and I guess we'll go from there. So I have the hinges drilled out. What I made a mistake doing, it was easily remedied, but I took what I wanted to be the right hinge and the right hinge, and I flipped them back to back and transferred the holes. That made what I wanted to be a top right, a top left, which is no big deal. So now this one's a top left instead of a top right. So it's just a simple mistake. I should have taken the top left to make the top right, since I was putting them back to back and transferring the holes. Got what I wanted to do. I have that countersink in there now. Just made these countersinks. New hardware fits in there nice and flush. Closest I can find. So let me go fit this on the body now. Hey, and see if it'll work. Pretty sure it will. So let's do that now. All right, so here is this hinge. First one installed. Hits nothing. It looks pretty good. I know that when the other hinge is on, in between the bottom and the top of this one is 22 inches. I want people to have options. If it's not lined up the way they want it to, they can mess with it. You know, since this is a car for sale, I don't know what the next person's gonna do. So I kind of just want to get it together. Nuts and bolts will be fine. So yeah, let's countersink the rest of these brackets. Oh, that's the side you saw already. Alrighty then, squeeze through. So I got this top hinge on, and I put this one on loosely. I got some issues here. So that's kind of tilted down a little bit. First thing I'm gonna do is open up these holes a couple sizes. Be able to have a little bit more adjustability here, because there's just holes in the this A pillar, and there's not much I can do to move around there. So I'm gonna just open this up a little bit. I stick my rod in here. Comes down and lands about there, which is not good. It kind of wants to be like here. I have some adjustability in this, but not a lot. So I want to try to move this up, and this will move this rod hopefully like out there. Okay, now as you can see, line is pretty much even now, and it's where I need this to be. I put the outside hinges on, the door side of the hinges on. Everything's good here for now. Everything lines up well. The only issue here is the doors. The bottom half of these doors were replaced by somebody, and let's see here. So it should be 22 inches from this edge to this edge. And if I put this in the middle here, where it looks like it belongs, we got like, I don't know, 21 and a quarter, 21 and a half. Depends on where you put it. If I put it up here, 21 and a quarter. So we need it to be about there. I drew some lines already where I need this to be. Bottom of this should be here, and that's quite a bit different. So I had this on the hinge, and I went to put the door on, and it was like hitting here. It wouldn't pass by the hinge. So I was like, what the heck's going on? And I measured this. This is correct. So it's not the body side, it is the door that's incorrect. So I gotta do some cutting and smashing. Take a hammer and dolly and try and put this crease that's right here. I'm trying to move that back to here. Maybe even a little further so I have some wiggle room. I'll cut the door skin. Well, I'll probably take this piece, weld it over here. Stuff I didn't think I had to do, but I have to do. This one seems all right. At the bottom, we got 22 inches. So I really don't think I'm worried about the passenger side. It's more this driver's side door. And of course, that's the one that's most important because it's the one you use all the time.
I got the body line lining up. I had to mess with the cowl mounting and the back half. And the only problem I have now is that the door does not line up on the bottom. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the tacks on this support, and this should allow me to push the bottom in, and then I'll clamp it where it fits nice, and then I'll tack it again. But I think that'll solve that problem, and then I can kind of tighten this side up. I had to cut this brace out of just this corner, and I had to make a pie cut here. This part of the door here was like, well, I guess from here down was too far in, way far in, and it was making a peak. Regardless, it fits perfect now. So you see why I did that? It was the bottom was too far in here, and I had to open it up to allow this curve to be real nice. Now it's much better, much better. All right, door shut's good. Gap's good. This stock hinge, believe it or not, I think I'm gonna leave it. There's no reason to take it off if it's working, so I'm gonna leave that. But I'm going to drill and tighten down 3 more screws because I have 1 on here now. That'll take care of that hinge, and then this door will be done, and I can move to the other side and then do the floors. Because I didn't want to put a sub rail here connecting the front and back when we don't really know where this back half needs to be. We got the holes, but it wasn't really correct. I had to move it back. I think I might have to move it back a little more too because it's kind of tight there still. So I'll figure that out, but it's definitely getting there. Looking a lot better than it did when it came here because it didn't have any doors when it came here. Alright, I've been jamming on this Cabriolet trying to get the doors closing correctly. It's been a pain. I got the driver's side pretty good, enough that I'm happy with it because there's a lot of work to get done to this car. Who knows if something's gonna get tweaked or if the quarters need to come in and out a little bit. I just don't know. So I'm getting it good as I need it to get, but the passenger side has been such a pain. Nothing is lining up. I'm gonna take the skirts off so I can move this quarter panel forward and backwards a lot easier because right now it's getting hung up on those running boards and not letting the door close. So, well, not letting it close correctly. It'll close, but there's a gap like this big. So I got to address that. All right, so that was the issue. The skirts, the running boards were holding everything up. I was able to move the cowl and this back section, so we got the doors fitting nice on either side. See, the body line lines up real nice. There's enough space here where it doesn't touch, and it just closes nicely. The cowl is not great, but not terrible. I think it's because of the patch that was done on the bottom. I don't know if the guy had the body when he fixed the doors because the curves were all off. And this side, like before, I had it fitting well, and then I messed with that side and it kind of got messed up, and so I had to come back and fit this side again. But Once we have a latch in here, it'll stay. But this body line lines up real nice too. The gap is equal all the way down. Pretty happy with the way the doors fit. So I think I'm gonna send a couple more screws in the cowl and make sure all these are tight on the rear section. And then I can go ahead and do the floors like it came here for. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that this video. It's been just such a long time trying to get these doors to fit correctly. All right, so I got the doors shutting pretty good. Ken's over there replacing part of his car. And I need to make some sub rails for this, just tiny sections. So I took some 18 gauge, cut a 4-inch strip out of it. So it'll be 2-inch by 2-inch angle. I'm gonna make a preliminary bend on my Harbor Freight. And then I just made these quick dies here out of aluminum. It's literally just a 90 degree. And I have a tipping die on the bottom there. Should crisp it up real nice. Alright, so I have been messing around with sub rails. You saw me make sub rails before, so I just kind of bent the angle, shrunk the edge, stretched the edge, whatever I needed to do. Now this comes up and meets up with this body mount hole. I'm probably just going to smash that flat, weld the side here, just kind of graft those two together. You can see the kind of bend there. I made that main side here, which is from here to about here. So I made that piece on the other side. I bent up this short piece. It's actually 36 inches right now. I just need to, I put some curve in the front, and then the back needs to be swept up like this one. See how it comes flat and then it sweeps up into this. I gotta do that on that side, but floor's coming together. The main part of getting everything fit was getting the doors fitted. But now that those are good, there's just the issue of the floors to deal with, which is no problem. I just didn't have any sub rails, so I had to make those. The only thing I really had to do fabrication wise is build these sub rails, and I have to recreate that piece. But sub rails are pretty easy. They're created, they just need to be welded in, but I'm obviously going to save that stuff for the end. I guess this is as far as I'm getting since it's Saturday afternoon and the video comes out on Sunday, so I should get inside and edit. But this is coming along. Happy with the progress. It's going along really quick because there's no rust I need to cut out. It's just kind of is what it is. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Glad you followed along. Something different. I know we've been messing with this sedan delivery for a while. It's nice to get something in, kind of bang it out real quick, out the door. Like always, guys, thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, clicking the bell, sharing the videos with your friends. We just broke, I think, 4,600 subscribers? It's pretty awesome. On the way to 5,000. I will start working on the shoebox build when subscribers get a little higher up there. I know I've been saying that for a while. Growth is kind of slow here, so just take it in strides. See you guys in the next one. Thank you.